It's day 2 of 10 days with Catherine Howard, and today we're thinking about her father, Lord Edmund Howard. And to set the tone, I'm going to preface this with a quote from Antonia Fraser, of course, who described him as feckless and rather lazy, inhibited, or so he thought, by his aristocratic birth from making efforts suitable to those of a lesser degree. So to start you off, that's what we're dealing with here. In comparison to, and you can love or hate Anne Boleyn's father, but that man worked hard. You know, before Anne was even at that point of even vaguely near to being on a throne, he was working hard. Catherine Howard's dad, not so much. So let's have a little look at him. It's a very busy family, Catherine Howard's, and as I said, tomorrow I'm going to come back to looking at kind of the extended parts of it and how everyone sort of clicks together. But very briefly, so Edmund Howard's father, so Catherine Howard's grandfather, is Thomas Howard, the second Duke of Norfolk, not to be confused with the third, and I'll go over that tomorrow. Kind of think of him as like the nice one. And we'll go over why he's kind of important tomorrow. But so Edmund's father, Thomas Howard, and his mother was Elizabeth Tilney. Just to illustrate again how massive Catherine Howard's family was. So her father, so Edmund Howard, had 7 brothers and 2 sisters. And then when his father remarried, after Edmund's mother died, he then had another 7 children. So he had 7 half brothers and sisters as well. So huge family on its own. So he obviously has a lot of children himself with Joyce Culpeper, and then he himself has a huge family. So Catherine Howard had a lot of siblings and also a lot of aunts and uncles. So Catherine's father actually had 3 wives in total. So as we said yesterday, Catherine's mother died fairly young. He then went on to have a second wife. Second wife was Margaret Troyes, I think I'm pronouncing that right. And the third wife was a Margaret Mundy, who famously beat him when, after some sort of illness, he wet the bed. Oh dear, Edmund. In terms of his career, he doesn't really seem to have achieved a lot. He worked as a page for Henry VII. When Henry VIII came to the throne, he did help organise tournaments around the birth of little baby Henry. But apparently he was the only one who in the jousting wouldn't let Henry VIII win. He then later wasn't invited to France, and I can't help wondering if that stuck in Henry's mind a bit, because he doesn't seem to have held any particular favour for him going forward. He did help out pretty well at the Battle of Flodden, so he didn't get invited to France with everybody else. He stayed, but then at the Battle of Flodden, which his father was kind of taking charge of, he fought pretty well, and he was then knighted. He does seem to have gone to the Field of Cloth of Gold summit, but then, as I've said before, everyone seemed to have gone to the Field of Cloth of Gold. I think I'm literally the only person who ever wasn't invited to that thing. Not bitter at all. So yeah, a bit of a, not very exciting life career-wise in comparison to a lot of other people. So a couple of quotes I read about him. Gareth Russell said he peaked before he became a father, and somebody else, I'm not quite sure who wrote this, I haven't written the name, but said that he earned and achieved very little. And as we'll mention later on, he just didn't earn enough money for that massive family. He couldn't afford, multiple houses and that sort of thing. So by the time Catherine was a bit older, the money really wasn't there to kind of support her as such. So he eventually dies then in 1539. He had been working as controller of Calais. He was dismissed in 1539, and then he dies that year. So he doesn't kind of witness all of the stuff around Catherine. Who knows, maybe he would have been more protective of her than her uncle was. Don't know. Okay, so that's where we're going to leave Eddie today, not doing very much. So we've looked at her mother, we've looked at her father. Tomorrow we're going to look at kind of the extended family, because there's a lot of players that come, you know, in and out of her life, and that are important to understand how she's kind of connected up to them all. So I'll see you tomorrow.